Well, as I promised you, we do have to talk about forgetting. It happens to all of us. As an educator, you want to prevent it from happening as much as you possibly can with your students. So, what does it take to help your students not forget? Well, what is forgetting? Forgetting is the inability to retrieve long-term memory. It's there, but for one reason or another, your student can't get to it, pull it out and use it. How do you help? Well, first of all, you have to think about what are the possible causes. It could be what we could call memory decay. You haven't used that information in so long, it's just kind of gotten buried under stacks of other folders, you might say. And it's just really, really hard to find that folder again and pull it out. So if that's the possible reason for the inability to remember, then that's the time to pull out memory tricks, review questions, all those kind of things that teachers do to keep knowledge fresh by recycling at times things that happened in the past. Another possible cause, though, is stress. Maybe you felt this. Big exam coming. Big exam coming, about to happen. I've forgotten everything. I'm going to fail. Okay. What do you do in that situation? You got to de-stress because you know the knowledge is in there, but what your body has done, it has thrown out this hormone called epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, and it's running through your veins and it is overstimulating you and it's fight or flight and you just are all locked up and thinking processes are just not available. So let's calm down for a minute before the test begins. Let's breathe. Let's let our brains go to a happy place. Let our brains release the hormone serotonin and relax and have an enjoyable experience for a few moments. And now the body is less tense, and now the memory can start coming back. What else? What if forgetting is happening because of interference? There's noise. And I don't mean necessarily noise in your ear, but there's noise of distractions in many, many, many forms. Which is why in some classes and in some schools they separate and have boys' classes and girls' classes. Sometimes that's a distraction. And isolation, as I say, it can sometimes really help. Sometimes it's just a single student who really needs isolation and will actually beg you for it. Can I take this test or can I do this exercise way back in the back of the room or in another room? Because I know I'm having trouble with this. Sure, if that's what it takes to help you get over your forgetting and calmly be able to retrieve again. Now let's look at interference a little bit more. There's another kind of interference that isn't distraction. It's the interference that's caused when new information and old information are in conflict with each other. Proactive interference, let's look at that word pro, there we go. Proactive interference is when the old information is interfering with the new information. Retroactive, let's get that retro there. Retroactive interference, new information coming in doesn't jive with the old information that you've been carrying around with you. Now, I've been giving cures, how to cure if there's distraction, how to cure if there's tension. What about curing this business of interference of new and old information? Can that be cured? It depends. Maybe you don't even want to. Maybe your students need to struggle with that interference and make that a learning experience of its own. Then again, maybe you need to help them sort out the old, the new, what's really relevant still, what's irrelevant and should be discarded. They may need help doing that. But the point is that is your role. Your role is to help them not forget, and then to do that, you have to kind of think to yourself, what are the possible causes of their inability to remember at the moment they need something? So, in case you've forgotten, which is possible, rewind and watch this again once or twice. Take notes and do the review questions and check out the readings, the supplemental readings that go along with this, so that you retain and you don't forget when that CLEP test comes. Okay.